When you reach the later seasons of life, the body speaks to you differently. It whispers in your knees, it murmurs in your back, and sometimes it even shouts through your hips and shoulders. Many people over 60 are told the same simple thing: just keep walking. Now, walking is good. It is gentle, it moves the blood, it clears the mind. But let us not pretend it is the whole answer. There are other movements, 5 of them in particular, that carry the kind of strength, stability, and renewal that walking alone cannot give. They are not complicated, and they do not require machines, gadgets, or expensive memberships. They ask only for your patience, your breath, and your willingness to move with purpose. The first is the squat. Not the heavy, youthful squat of a weightlifter, but the controlled, steady lowering of the body, as if you were about to sit down in a chair. This movement keeps the legs strong and the hips alive. Why does this matter? Because every time you rise from bed, from a chair, from a bench in the park, you are performing a small squat. To lose that ability is to lose independence. A gentle squat, using a chair for balance if needed, preserves dignity in everyday living. You will notice too that the muscles of the thighs wake up, the circulation improves, and your confidence in balance quietly grows. The second is the push-up. Some may laugh at the idea, thinking it belongs to the young. But the push-up, modified against a wall or countertop, if the floor feels unfriendly, is one of the finest gifts you can give to your chest, shoulders, and arms. It strengthens the muscles that help you reach for a shelf, push open a door, or steady yourself if you stumble. And it does something more. It keeps the bones of the upper body firm and resistant to the thinning that age tries to bring. A few push-ups each day become a shield against frailty. The third is the plank. This one may sound intimidating, but in truth, it is the simplest of poses. You hold your body straight, supported by your forearms and toes, or with knees down, if that feels better. What it teaches is core strength. The hidden belt of muscle around your middle that holds you upright, supports your spine, and guards your balance. Without a strong core, the risk of falling rises, and the back complains more loudly. The plank is quiet medicine for those troubles. Hold it for a few seconds at first, then longer as the days pass, and you will feel the difference in posture and steadiness. The fourth is the step up. Life is full of steps, curbs, stairs, thresholds. To practice stepping up onto a sturdy surface, even something as modest as the bottom stair or a low bench, keeps your legs in balance, prepared for the real world. This exercise does not just build strength, it rehearses the very motion that keeps you mobile and safe outdoors. Done slowly, with a railing or support nearby. The step up improves coordination and power in ways walking never quite touches. The fifth is stretching. Age has a way of stiffening the joints and shortening the muscles, until even tying a shoe feels like a chore. A daily routine of stretching, reaching overhead, turning gently side to side, leaning forward to wake the hamstrings, returns freedom to the body. It eases aches, improves circulation, and allows the other exercises to be done with greater comfort. Flexibility is not vanity, it is independence. Without it, movements shrink, and so does the world around you. When you think about these 5, squat, push-up, plank, step up, and stretch, you realize they cover the whole body. They touch the legs, the arms, the middle, the balance, and the breath. They make no promise to turn back the clock. But they do offer something better, the chance to live these years with vitality and dignity. Too often people see exercise as punishment, a debt to pay for what was eaten yesterday. But at this age, it is not about punishment. It is about preservation. It is about the joy of walking into a room unaided, of lifting a grandchild into your arms, of bending down to pick up something you dropped without fear of not rising again. These movements do not demand hours. They can be done in minutes, woven into your morning, or shared with a friend in the quiet of the afternoon. They ask for consistency more than intensity. A few squats each day, a handful of push-ups, a short plank, a dozen careful step-ups, and some gentle stretching. Done regularly, they create a body that answers back with strength rather than weakness. Remember, the body is like a house. Walking is like sweeping the floor. It clears the dust, it keeps things tidy. But squats strengthen the foundation, push-ups reinforce the walls, planks secure the frame, step-ups test the stairs, and stretching oils the hinges. Only when all these parts are cared for can the house truly stand strong. At 60 and beyond, We are the caretakers of this house. No one else can do the work for us. So, when someone tells you that walking is enough, nod politely. Then add these 5 movements to your days. Walking is a companion, but these exercises are the guardians of your strength. Do them with patience, listen to your body, and let each repetition be a reminder that growing older does not mean growing weaker. It means moving wisely and moving with purpose, so the years ahead are not just endured, but truly lived. Many people in their 60s and beyond are told by doctors, friends, or even family members that walking is the only exercise they need. And let us be clear, walking is not without its value. It is a gentle rhythm that brings oxygen into the lungs, moves blood through the veins, and clears the fog of the mind. A walk in the morning sun can lift the spirits, soothe the heart, and connect us to the world around us. The sound of birds, the feel of fresh air, and the steady pace of the feet. These are gifts, and we must honor them. Walking is indeed good, but it is not enough. Why do I say this? Because walking, while beneficial for the heart and circulation, does little to address some of the deeper needs of the aging body. As the years pass, strength begins to fade quietly. Muscles shrink unless they are called upon. Bones thin unless they are loaded and challenged. Balance weakens unless it is trained. Walking touches only part of this great orchestra of the body. It plays the melody, but the harmony is missing. Think of walking as the broom that sweeps the floor. It keeps things tidy, prevents dust from building, and keeps you feeling active. But sweeping alone does not repair the walls, strengthen the foundation, or oil the hinges of the doors. The house may look neat, yet beneath it all, it grows weaker if nothing else is done. In the same way, walking keeps the heart and lungs active, but neglects the strength of the legs, the endurance of the core, and the flexibility of the joints. Consider this when you rise from a chair, when you bend to tie your shoes, when you catch yourself from stumbling. It is not walking that saves you. It is the strength in your thighs, the steadiness of your core, and the coordination of your balance. Walking alone does not prepare you for these moments. That is why so many elders who walk daily still find themselves struggling to climb stairs, to lift groceries, or to get up from the ground. Their endurance may be fair, but their strength is not preserved. There is another truth here. Walking is mostly repetitive, forward-only motion. The hips swing, the knees bend, the feet move in rhythm. But the body rarely bends, twists, reaches, or resists. Life, however, is full of bends, twists, and sudden demands. To step sideways, to turn quickly, to reach overhead. These require muscles that walking does not train. Without attention, those muscles grow weak, and when they are called upon suddenly, injury follows. And let us not forget bone health. With age, bones thin, and the silent hand of osteoporosis makes them fragile. Walking provides some weight bearing, yes, but not enough variety or intensity to truly stimulate the bones to stay strong. Resistance, pushing, lifting, and controlled movement against gravity. These are what bones crave, and walking cannot deliver them. So, when I say walking is not enough, I do not dismiss its gifts, I only place it in perspective. Walking should be the foundation, the steady daily practice that keeps the heart young and the mind bright. But the body, like a tree, needs more than one root to stand strong. It needs strength training for the trunk, flexibility for the branches, balance for the roots, and endurance for the leaves. Walking gives us only one root. The other roots must be tended by squats, push-ups, planks, step-ups, and stretching. Think of it this way. Walking is like the friendly neighbor who greets you every day and makes you feel welcome. But 5 other neighbors are waiting with gifts that will keep your house standing, your body moving, and your spirit thriving. Do not turn them away. Walking is good, but walking alone is not enough. There comes a time when independence becomes the most precious treasure of all. Not wealth, not possessions, not even long travel. Just the simple freedom to rise from a chair, to move through your home without help, to bend down and stand back up again without calling someone for assistance. This freedom is guarded, more than anything else, by the strength of your legs and hips. And that is where the squat comes in. Now, when people hear the word squat, many picture a young athlete straining under heavy barbells, sweat dripping down, muscles bulging. That is not the squat I speak of. I speak of the everyday squat, the gentle lowering of the body, as though preparing to sit in a chair, and the steady rising again. This humble motion, repeated and practiced, is the golden key to preserving independence after 60. Why is this so important? Because nearly every daily action requires it. When you rise from your bed in the morning, you squat. When you get up from your favorite armchair, you squat. When you sit down at the table for a meal, and when you stand again to clear your plate, you squat. Even using the restroom calls upon this motion. To lose the ability to squat with strength and balance is to lose the ability to live without constant assistance. That is why this exercise is not merely about muscles. It is about dignity. The squat strengthens the thighs, the glutes, the hips, and even the lower back. These are the pillars that carry your body through each day. Walking keeps the legs moving, yes, but it does not train them to bear the full weight of your body in rising and lowering. Squatting does. And it does so in a way that is natural, without the need for machines or complicated equipment. If balance feels uncertain, a sturdy chair, a countertop, or even the back of a sofa can serve as a support. The goal is not speed or heavy resistance, but control and consistency. There is also something deeply practical in practicing squats. Imagine for a moment that you have dropped something on the floor. Without the strength to lower and rise again, that small object may remain there, out of reach, reminding you of what you have lost. Or picture the moment when you visit a friend and they invite you to sit on a low couch. If your legs are weak, such a simple invitation becomes a source of embarrassment. The squat, repeated each day, preserves the power to accept life's invitations without hesitation. Another gift of squats is balance. As you lower your body, your muscles learn to stabilize you, your joints strengthen, and your awareness of posture improves. These subtle adjustments protect you from falls, one of the greatest threats to health and independence in older years. A fall can change everything in a moment. Squats prepare the body to bend, lower, and rise again safely, reducing that risk. There is even a deeper meaning here. When we practice squats, we are rehearsing humility, the act of lowering ourselves, then rising with renewed strength. It is a symbolic motion, reminding us that even in later years, we can bend without breaking and rise without fear. The body, like the spirit, thrives on such reminders. And do not think you must begin with perfection. For some, the squat may start as a simple sit to stand from a chair, repeated slowly. That is enough. Over time, the muscles respond, the motion grows easier, and confidence returns. A few minutes each day, and the reward is enormous, the ability to live on your own terms, without leaning too heavily on others. So let us honor the squat, not as an athletic challenge, but as a daily practice of independence. It is not about chasing youth, but about preserving freedom. Every controlled rise from a chair, every steady lowering toward one, is a declaration. I still have strength, I still have dignity, I still have choice. And in the later chapters of life, there is no exercise more valuable than that. When most people think of push-ups, they picture something from their youth, soldiers lined up in training, athletes pounding out dozens at a time, or perhaps a younger version of themselves lowering to the floor with ease. But let me tell you a secret. Push-ups are not the property of the young. They are one of the oldest, simplest, and most powerful movements we can do, and they matter even more as the years add up. For those of us past 60, push-ups are not about impressing anyone. They are about preserving strength in the chest, shoulders, arms, and bones. The very strength that keeps us steady, capable, and independent. Now, before you dismiss the idea, remember this: a push-up does not need to be done flat on the floor. For many older adults, the floor feels too far away, too harsh on the wrists, or simply unsafe. That is why the push-up can be adapted. You can do them against the wall, pressing your palms into it and lowering gently toward it. You can do them at the edge of a sturdy countertop or table. You can even do them on the arms of a sofa, lowering and pressing upward with as much care as you need. The point is not how low you go. It is that you are practicing the motion of pushing your body away from resistance. That motion alone builds strength where it is most needed. Why is this so important? Because so many daily tasks depend on these very muscles. Think of pushing open a heavy door, rising from a low couch, lifting a bag of groceries, or bracing yourself when you stumble. Your chest, shoulders, and arms are your shield against weakness. They are also the first line of defense when you reach out to catch yourself or when you need to steady your body. Walking will never prepare you for that. but push-ups will. And there is something else, something often forgotten. As we grow older, our bones lose density. The medical world calls it osteoporosis, and it creeps in silently, thinning the framework that holds us upright. Push-ups, even gentle ones, place stress on the bones of the arms, wrists, and shoulders. That stress is not harmful, it is healing. It signals the bones to stay strong, to rebuild, to resist thinning. In this way, each push-up is not only strengthening muscles, but also guarding against the fragility that age tries to impose. Push-ups also engage the core, though few people realize it. When you hold your body in line, even against a wall, your belly and back muscles join the effort. They tighten to keep you steady, to keep you aligned. In this way, push-ups are more than just an arm exercise. They are a whole body reminder that strength comes from coordination. Do not think you need dozens. Even a handful of push-ups each day brings results. Start with 5 against the wall. When that becomes easy, step back further or use a lower surface. Progress is not about speed, but about persistence. Each small effort adds up, like drops of water filling a bucket. Before long, what once felt difficult will feel natural. And with that, your confidence grows. Not the boastful confidence of youth, but the quiet assurance that your body can still serve you well. There is also a symbolic truth in the push-up. It is the act of pushing the world away from you, of resisting the weight that presses down. In life, burdens can come. Illness, loss, fatigue, or worry. The push-up is a physical rehearsal for resilience. With each repetition, you are telling yourself, I may be pressed down, but I will rise again. That lesson belongs not only to the body, but to the spirit. So, let us not laugh at the idea of push-ups after 60. Let us reclaim them. They are not about showing off. They are about showing up. For your own health, for your own independence, for the people who still count on you. A strong chest, steady arms, and firm bones are not luxuries. They are essentials, and push-ups provide them in the simplest, most accessible way. Remember, youth seeks strength for performance. Age seeks strength for survival and dignity. Push-ups, whether at the wall, the counter, or the floor, provide exactly that. And every time you press your body away, you are pressing weakness out of your life. When you hear the word core, many people think only of the stomach, the belly, the waistline, perhaps even the desire for a flat midsection. But the core is far more than that. It is the belt of strength that wraps around your body like a sturdy band, connecting your spine to your hips, your upper body to your lower body. The core is not vanity, it is necessity. And after 60, a strong core can mean the difference between walking tall and steady, or shuffling cautiously, fearful of falling. The plank is the simplest, purest way to awaken this vital center of the body. It requires no equipment, no bending or twisting, no complicated movements. It is simply holding your body straight and firm, supported either by your forearms and toes, or for a gentler version, with your knees or even your hands against a countertop. At first glance, it may seem like nothing. You are not moving, not lifting, not striding. But in that stillness, the deep muscles of the abdomen, back, and pelvis are firing. They are working quietly, invisibly, to create stability. Why does this matter? Because the core is the foundation of balance. When you stumble, it is the core that catches you. When you rise from bed, it is the core that supports your back. When you carry groceries, climb stairs, or even twist to look behind you, it is the core that makes those movements safe. Without a strong core, the body wobbles, posture collapses, and the risk of falling increases. And falls, as we know, can steal independence in an instant. Walking alone does not strengthen the core. Yes, it moves the legs and raises the heart rate, but the muscles of the abdomen and lower back are left unstimulated. The plank, however, trains them directly. It is a reminder that strength is not always loud or flashy. Sometimes it is silent endurance, the ability to hold steady when the world pulls on you from all directions. The beauty of the plank is in its flexibility. You do not have to hold it long to benefit. 10 seconds may be enough at the start. Rest, breathe, then try again. Over time, seconds turn into half a minute, then a minute. What matters is not how long you hold, but how consistent you are. Like a tree rooting deeper into the soil, each attempt strengthens your base. And you do not need to start on the floor if that feels intimidating. Lean against a wall, place your hands on the edge of a counter, or support yourself on your knees. Every version teaches the body the same lesson: steadiness comes from within. The plank also improves posture. Many older adults find their shoulders rounding forward, their backs curving, their heads dropping. This is not only uncomfortable, but also limits breathing and makes movement less efficient. The plank gently reverses that drift. It awakens the muscles that pull the shoulders back, lengthen the spine, and open the chest. It trains the body to stand tall again, not stiffly, but with natural strength. And there is a lesson beyond the physical. The plank teaches patience. It is not about movement, but about endurance. It is about breathing through discomfort, holding steady when the mind wants to quit, staying calm in the midst of strain. These are lessons that life itself demands, especially in later years. When challenges come, health concerns, losses, or changes beyond our control, the ability to remain steady, to endure without breaking, is invaluable. The plank is a physical practice of that inner resilience. Some may dismiss it as too simple. Yet simplicity is often the deepest wisdom. The plank requires no equipment, no special skill, no costly investment. It is you, your breath, and your body working together. And from that, you gain strength, not only for your muscles, but also for your confidence. To hold yourself firm, even for a few moments, is to tell yourself, I am still strong, I am still capable, I am still grounded. So, let us not overlook the plank. It may not look like much, but it is a quiet guardian of independence. It steadies the body, supports the spine, improves balance, and builds the very strength that walking leaves behind. More than that, it teaches a wisdom we all need. Sometimes the greatest strength is not in moving quickly, but in holding still with courage. If you stop and think about it, life is full of steps. Not only the grand staircases we climb in public places, but also the small rises and obstacles scattered through daily living. The curb outside your home, the single stair at a friend's porch, the uneven stones in the garden path, the entryway threshold you cross every day. These are all steps, each one demanding strength, balance, and coordination. It is for this reason that step-ups are one of the most practical, real-world exercises a person over 60 can practice. The step-up is simple in forms. You lift one foot onto a raised surface, shift your weight, and rise to meet it with the other foot. It mirrors the very motion you use in climbing stairs or mounting a curb. Unlike walking, which moves you forward on level ground, the step-up requires you to fight gravity more directly. Your legs, hips, and core must work together to lift the body higher than its natural resting plane. This motion strengthens not only the muscles, but also the confidence that you can handle life's elevations without fear. Why is this exercise so vital? Because many injuries among older adults happen not during long walks, but during short, unexpected encounters with steps. A missed curb, a rushed stair, a stumble while carrying a bag, all can lead to falls. Practicing step-ups prepares your body to meet these challenges with strength and steadiness. Each repetition is a rehearsal, a reminder to your legs and balance that they are still capable. Step-ups strengthen the quadriceps, hamstrings, and gluteal muscles, the powerful trio that supports every rise from the ground and every climb upward. They also engage the ankles and calves, which are crucial for stabilizing each step. The coordination required to lift one leg, balance on it briefly, and then bring the other leg up builds the kind of agility that walking cannot provide. In essence, step-ups teach the body to be ready for uneven ground, sudden lifts, and moments of imbalance. One of the beauties of step-ups is how easily they can be adapted. You do not need a tall bench or flight of stairs to begin. Even the bottom stair of a staircase, or a low, sturdy step in your home is enough. At first, you might hold onto a railing or countertop for support. As you grow stronger and more confident, you may no longer need that extra balance. You can also choose to step down slowly, controlling the descent, which strengthens the legs just as much as the rise. Step-ups are not only about strength, they are about function. Imagine being able to climb a flight of stairs without pausing halfway, or stepping confidently onto a bus without fear of losing balance. Picture walking through a park where the path rises and dips, and doing so without hesitation. These are not athletic goals, they are the simple freedoms that preserve independence. Step-ups give you back that freedom. Beyond the physical, there is a symbolic meaning in this motion. The act of stepping up is a gesture of progress. It says, I am moving higher, I am rising above, I am not staying where I am. For those in later years, this symbolism is powerful. Life may try to tell you to slow down, to shrink your world, to avoid challenges. But every step up you practice is a declaration that you are still willing to rise, still willing to climb, still willing to meet life's elevations with strength. It is also worth noting that step ups strengthen the heart. Because the movement requires lifting the entire body against gravity, it gently raises the heart rate, improving cardiovascular fitness without the pounding impact of running or high-intensity sports. This dual benefit, strength and endurance, makes step-ups especially valuable. So, while walking keeps you moving forward, step-ups prepare you for the vertical challenges of daily living. They guard against the hesitation and fear that steps often bring in later life. They give you confidence, agility, and resilience. And each time you lift yourself onto that stair or platform, you are not just training your legs. You are training your spirit to keep rising. As the years go by, the body has a quiet way of closing in on itself. Joints stiffen, muscles shorten, movements grow smaller. Tasks that were once effortless, bending to tie a shoe, reaching for a jar on the top shelf, turning your head to look over your shoulder, can slowly become awkward, even painful. This is not simply age itself. It is the natural tightening that comes when muscles and joints are not regularly stretched. That is why stretching is not a luxury. It is a daily medicine, a way to keep the doors of the body open so life can be lived with freedom. Stretching is perhaps the gentlest of exercises, but its effects are profound. It lengthens muscles, restores mobility to joints, and improves circulation. When practiced regularly, it relieves stiffness, eases pain, and even helps prevent injury. More than that, stretching is what allows the other exercises, squats, push-ups, planks, and step-ups, to be done safely and comfortably. Without flexibility, strength and balance are limited. Without stretching, the body becomes like a door whose hinges have rusted. It can still move, but every movement squeaks, resists, and risks breaking. Think for a moment of the daily activities that require flexibility. Bending down to pick up a dropped item, turning in bed to find a comfortable position, reaching behind you to grab a jacket or adjust a seat belt. These are simple actions, but without flexibility they become struggles. That struggle steals confidence, and confidence is one of the first steps toward independence. Stretching restores not only the body's ease, but also the mind's assurance. Yes, I can still move as I wish. The beauty of stretching lies in its simplicity. It does not demand heavy effort or long sessions. A few minutes each day, reaching overhead to open the shoulders, gently twisting the torso side to side, leaning forward to stretch the hamstrings, circling the ankles to keep them supple. These small practices add up to great results. Unlike more strenuous exercises, stretching asks only for patience and consistency. It is not about how far you can reach on the first day, but about how gently you can invite the body to open a little more with each passing week. There is also a deep connection between stretching and circulation. As muscles lengthen, blood flows more freely, carrying oxygen and nutrients to tissues that need healing. This is why stretching often leaves the body feeling lighter, warmer, and more alive. It is as though the body sighs with relief, freed from its own tightness. And when circulation improves, energy improves as well. For many older adults, fatigue is not just about age. It is about stiffness that restricts the body's natural flow. Stretching unlocks that flow. Another gift of stretching is posture. As we age, gravity pulls us forward, rounding the shoulders, tightening the chest, and curving the back. Stretching the front of the body, opening the chest, lengthening the spine, loosening the hips, helps reverse that slump. With better posture comes easier breathing, greater confidence, and less strain on the joints. It is no small thing. Posture is not just about appearance. It is about how the body functions every hour of the day. Beyond the physical, stretching carries a lesson of gentleness. It teaches us to move slowly, to listen to the body's limits, and to respect them. Unlike strength exercises that push us to strain, stretching reminds us that growth can come from ease. It encourages patience, mindfulness, and presence. Each stretch is a moment to breathe deeply, to let go of tension, and to honor the body not for what it once could do, but for what it can still do today. Perhaps the most powerful truth is this: flexibility is freedom. It is the freedom to dress yourself without strain, to garden without fear of pulling a muscle, to climb into a car with ease, to embrace a loved one without stiffness holding you back. Stretching is not about vanity or competition. It is about preserving those everyday freedoms that make life worth living. So, let us not dismiss stretching as optional or unimportant. It is as vital as strength or balance, for without it, the body grows rigid, and rigidity is the enemy of independence. Each time you reach, bend, twist, or lengthen, you are telling your body, stay open, stay supple, stay free. And with that openness, life remains spacious, comfortable, and filled with possibility.